You know that person who visits 5 different stores to save 50 cents on a purchase, spends 2 hours on Saturday driving from gas station to fill up for $3 less, and then brags about being a master of household economics? Exactly. We are talking about the type of economy that makes you feel in control, but which is actually controlling you. And that definitely has nothing stoic about it. When Marcus Aurelius wrote that few things are necessary for a happy life, he probably was not thinking about the person who organizes a complex spreadsheet to decide whether it is worth buying tomato sauce from store A or store B. Minimalism became trendy. Stoicism became a hashtag, but many people are confusing economy with obsession, and nobody talks about this. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the notification bell, because here you find reflections that truly matter, without romanticization, without self-deception, just the naked truth about how we live. The question is simple. There are economies that make us freer, and there are economies that imprison us even more. Today, we will unmask 7 habits that disguise themselves as frugality, but which are actually just sophisticated ways to waste time, energy, and peace of mind. 1. The false economy of transportation, the absurdity of crossing town to save money. This is my absolute favorite. The person who lives in Manhattan and takes 2 subways and a bus to go to a mall in Queens to buy something $10 cheaper than at the store near home. She spent $8 on transportation, 4 hours of the day, and still arrived home exhausted. She saved $10 on the product, but lost $8 in transportation and 4 hours of life. Not counting the emotional and physical cost of facing traffic, crowds, and urban stress. But the calculation does not stop there. Those 4 hours could have been used to rest, read, walk, or any activity that truly nourished the soul. Instead, they were spent on savings that are actually disguised losses. Epictetus taught us, first, tell yourself what you want to be, then do what you have to do. If you want to be a person who values your time and peace of mind, it makes no sense to cross town to save a few dollars. The Stoic understands that the scarcest resource is not money, it is time, and time poorly used never returns. As Seneca said, life is long enough, and it has been generously granted for the accomplishment of great deeds, if it is well invested. Crossing town to save $10 is not life investment, it is life waste. 2. The coupon syndrome. When saving becomes an obsessive hobby. Do you know that person who collects discount coupons as if they were rare coins, who downloads 15 different apps to get 5% discount on each purchase? Who spends more time organizing coupons than actually living? This is a modern trap that transforms economy into obsessive hobby. And as Epictetus said, you will become what you pay attention to. When you pay excessive attention to coupons and discounts, you become someone obsessed with coupons and discounts. The time you spend managing coupons, comparing apps, checking offers, could be being used for activities that truly add value to your existence. Like a walk outdoors, a meaningful conversation, or simply a moment of contemplative silence. Seneca warned us, while you postpone life, it passes. Every minute spent hunting sense is 1 minute less to live experiences that truly enrich the soul. There is cruel irony here. People who pride themselves on saving 50 cents with a coupon, but spend 2 hours of life searching for and organizing these coupons. If your time is worth anything, and it should be worth something, you are taking a loss, not profit. The obsession with coupons is particularly insidious because it disguises itself as virtue. I am an economical, responsible person who takes advantage of opportunities. Actually, you may be being an anxious person who transformed economy into compulsion. 3. The quantity trap. When buy 3, pay for 2, takes you to the hole. Buy 3 and pay for 2. Who has never fallen for this? The logic seems irrefutable. If I need one and can take 3 for the price of 2, I am making a fantastic deal. Until you realize you did not need 3, not even 2. Maybe not even one. This is one of the most classic self-deceptions, confusing economy with accumulation. We buy more because the unit price becomes lower, but we forget that zero is always less than any unit price. Seneca already warned about this when he said, "It is not poor who has little, but who desires more." Dependence on material goods distances us from our inner freedom, and buying 3 of something you would use only 1 is not freedom. It is imprisonment, disguised as cleverness. Marketing knows exactly how to exploit our limited resistance. After an hour in the supermarket making decisions, our judgment capacity becomes compromised. This is when offers like "take more, pay less" become irresistible. A Stoic person asks, "Do I need one? If yes, I buy one. If I do not need it, not even for free is it worth it." Because, as Marcus Aurelius taught us, the soul becomes tinged with the color of its thoughts, and thoughts of accumulation tinge life with possession anxiety, not with sufficiency tranquility. 4. The DIY do-it-yourself as self-deception when stubborn becomes economy. There is dangerous romanticization around do-it-yourself. People who spend the entire weekend trying to fix something that a professional would do in 30 minutes for a matter of economy. The result? Frustration, wasted time, and often poorly done work that will need to be redone by a professional, only now costing more because you complicated the problem. A friend told me he spent 3 Saturdays trying to fix the kitchen sink leak. In the end, he had to call a plumber anyway, who charged more because the problem had worsened. He saved $150 in labor and spent $300 more on parts and extra repairs. Seneca was wise to say, "The wise man lives as he can, not as he wants." Sometimes we can pay a professional, sometimes we cannot. But pretending we cannot when we can, just to feed the ego of self-sufficiency, is not wisdom. It is self-deception. Marcus Aurelius taught us to focus on what is under our control. Trying to do everything alone when we lack skill or time can be a source of anxiety disguised as virtue. True economy sometimes lies in recognizing our limitations and paying to have the problem solved properly the first time. As Marcus Aurelius said, loss is nothing more than change. Paying more for peace of mind is not loss, it is conscious choice. 5. The price per pound. Paranoia, when math becomes neurosis. There is a type of person who transformed going to the supermarket into an advanced math class. She calculates the price per ounce of each product, makes complex mental conversions, and leaves there proud for having optimized her purchases. The problem? She spent 40 minutes longer at the supermarket, arrived home mentally and physically exhausted, and saved $4. Epictetus said, "You will become what you pay attention to, and when you pay obsessive attention to sense, you become a person obsessed with sense. Your mind, which could be processing creative ideas, solving important problems, or simply enjoying the present, becomes occupied with calculations that do not move your life forward." Every Saturday morning, I have my coffee and put in my spreadsheet everything I spent during the week to keep my financial control always up to date. It is a moment of reflection, not obsession. It lasts 15 minutes, not 2 hours, and it gives me clarity about my real consumption patterns, not about scents that do not impact my life. The difference between control and obsession lies in proportion. If you spend more time calculating savings than the time saved is worth, you have become a slave to your own frugality. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that few things are necessary for a happy life. Calculating the price per ounce of 47 different products is definitely not on that list. 6. The sale product illusion, the self-deception of opportunities. Epictetus taught us that things themselves do not disturb us, but our opinions about them. And is there any opinion more disturbing than the one that makes us buy things we do not need just because they are on sale? This is exactly what happens when we see that red tag with 50% off. Our ancestral mind, programmed for scarcity, panics with the word promotion and completely forgets the fundamental question, do I really need this? The manipulation is subtle. Stores put a high crossed-out price and a lower price below, simulating savings that often do not even exist. But our opinion about that situation, that we are missing an opportunity, is what really disturbs us and makes us act against our own interests. Every month, I receive messages from people telling how they bought the second pair of sneakers because it was on sale, how they filled the pantry with products they do not even like that much because the price was unmissable. This is not economy. It is consumerism disguised as cleverness. Seneca was direct to the point. It is not poor who has little, but who desires more. And what is buying something on sale that you do not need if not manifesting an unnecessary desire artificially stimulated? The Stoic mentality questions, if you would not buy it at the normal price, why are you buying it at the promotional price? The answer usually reveals that we are being manipulated by our own brain. 7. The discount hunt, when saving becomes obsession. Last week, I observed a scene at the supermarket that reminded me why Seneca warned about vices that disguise themselves as virtues. A woman, with 3 small children running around her, spent almost 20 minutes checking prices between toilet paper brands, calculating cost per sheet, comparing promotions. The children were crying, she was visibly stressed, but persisted in economy. In the end, she saved $2.30. She lost 20 minutes of peace, spent mental energy that could have been used for important things and still left there exhausted. Seneca said that life is long enough and was generously granted for the accomplishment of great deeds, if well invested. But there in the supermarket aisle, nothing great was being accomplished, just a life being wasted in the name of illusory economy. Liberating frugality is not this. True economy lies in not transforming the act of saving into unpaid work that consumes our soul. A truly stoic person would define their priorities. I buy from a reliable brand for a fair price and move on with my life. Simple, efficient, no drama. Because as Marcus Aurelius taught us, the soul becomes tinged with the color of its thoughts, and obsessive thoughts about sense tinge life with anxiety, not with clarity. The true Stoic economy, less obsession, more intention. So what would be the truly Stoic approach to household economy? First, understand that true frugality is not about saving on everything, but about spending well on what matters and not spending anything on what does not matter. As Marcus Aurelius said, few things are necessary for a happy life. Second, recognize that your time and mental energy are more valuable resources than some dollars saved. Epictetus was clear, you will become what you pay attention to. If you want to become a balanced person, you cannot pay obsessive attention to sense. Third, accept that true economy sometimes means paying more for peace of mind. As Marcus Aurelius taught, loss is nothing more than change. Paying a little more to avoid stress is not loss, it is conscious choice. Fourth, understand that the goal is to regain volitional control of consumption without falling into advertising traps. As Epictetus said, things themselves do not disturb us, but our opinions about them. Stoic economy is simple. Buy what is necessary for a fair price, efficiently, and dedicate your mental energy to things that truly move your life forward. It is preferable to pay $5 more for something and have peace of mind than to save $5 and lose 2 hours of your life in a discount hunt that only feeds anxiety. Seneca summarized perfectly, the wise man lives as he can, not as he wants. Sometimes this means accepting that paying a little more is the wisest choice. The final test, the 10-minute rule. Here is a practical test for you to know if your economy is stoic or neurotic. If you spend more than 10 minutes thinking about how to save something that costs less than $20, you are probably entering obsessive territory. If you drive more than 10 minutes to save less than $10, you are losing money, not saving. If you spend more time looking for discounts than time necessary to earn the money you would save, you have become a slave to your own frugality. The rule is simple. Economy that generates anxiety is not economy. it is self-deception. As I always say, less obsession, more intention. Less calculation, more clarity. Less self-deception, more authenticity. Life is too short to transform economy into neurosis, and too long to live in constant anxiety of wasting some sense. Seneca ended the matter perfectly. While you postpone life, it passes. Stop postponing life because of coupons, promotions, and obsessive calculations. Live. If this video made you rethink your habits, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. This way, you help me continue creating content that truly questions the status quo, without romanticization or self-deception. To leave in the comments, economy with purpose. If you liked the video, comment this phrase so I will know that the content really made sense to you. Until the next video, remember, excess economy is also excess, and Stoicism is the enemy of any kind of excess.